This episode of Our Different Take is brought to you by TruV, which was previously True Vision Health. Try the True Fixed and True Control combination to reduce your appetite, cleanse your body, and strengthen your muscle mass. Go to ourdifferenttake.com, click on sponsors, and then the link for True Vision Health for more information or to order yours today. Have you lost your teeth? Can't find a bathroom? Do you find yourself walking around in the public in the nude? This podcast is for you. You are listening to Our Different Take. Welcome everyone to Our Different Take. My name is Brian, proud father of two awesome boys, epic Star Wars fan, and I'm super happy to welcome Matt to our home office again.
Hello. Well, I'm glad to be here, actually.
Welcome, Matt.
Thank you very much, Brian. Everybody that's been listening to the podcast probably already knows who I am. And if you haven't, I am also a father of four. And I'm sort of a conspiracy theory junkie. And I love sci-fi and Star Wars and all things supernatural and creepy.
Very nice.
That sums it up, I think.
Hey, I just want to bring up with our sponsor, I need to give you some. They gave me 2 boxes. One box of like an orange pill and one of a blue.
Yeah.
You take one orange and blue in the morning and one orange and blue in the afternoon. And I've been doing that this week. Mm-hmm. And I think I have more energy.
Really?
And less of an appetite, I think. But it's not jittery energy. It's actually pretty good. I'm going to give you some tonight.
Brian, I would pretty much take any pill you handed me.
I'm pretty sure you would.
Feel free.
This is healthy stuff, so I kind of like it so far. So
right, cool.
I would recommend it, but we need to get you on it.
I would love to.
See what you try.
I'm horribly ugly and disfigured. Anything I can do would be great.
It might grow your arm back, the one that's
awesome.
missing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it might. How have you been this past couple weeks?
Good. Very busy. Finally going back to work after the whole COVID episode.
Right.
They've got us back to work. We'll be full strength next week. So I went back in with the rest of the management team, and we ramping it up, getting ready to roll. So
welcome back.
Yeah, it's the end of probably the best month and a half of my entire life.
Were you sad to see it end?
Really sad. Actually, I was torn. I've had such a great time with my kids and my wife.
Yeah.
And I've got so much done at the house, and
yeah.
So much quality time with the children though has been just priceless. I've never had this much time off. I was thinking back, and since I was 13, I've never had this much uninterrupted time away from work. So it's been a real treat.
Were your kids sad to see you go back to work?
Nope, didn't even miss me. I don't think they.
They're like, oh, Dad.
Okay, bye. I left the house tonight to come over here, and I was like, bye, I love you. And I heard Reagan. Charlie didn't say anything, and Reagan was like, okay. That was it.
I think it hurts us as parents more than kids.
They're blissfully unaware, and they're having a great time. So,
yeah. That's all right.
I'm just soaking it up, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I've still been working. So I still go back to work.
You're a workhorse, man.
Like usual, and
yeah,
there's really nothing different. So I didn't catch the Rona.
Good.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyway. Give it time. It's incubating.
I'm immune because you know what? Back in January, I thought Erica had the flu in January. She was down for the count, like for a week on the couch. She couldn't, and that's not her at all, you know.
Right.
And then so she got better, and then there was one day I was driving home from work that I felt like the tiredest I've ever felt in my life, like completely wiped out. I could have pulled over and slept for days in my car on the side of the road. Mm-hmm. I came home, I lay down on the couch. I don't know if I had a fever or not, but I was just crazy tired, and I slept for like 2 days straight, and then I was fine. Right. So I don't know, maybe we had it.
You know, it's entirely possible. One of my coworkers, I'm pretty sure, had it. He was really sick for almost 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And couldn't get a test to save his life. But he's better now. And, the same thing I've heard from many people. where they feel that they possibly had it, and I bet a lot more people have antibodies built
Probably.
up if you were to test than
Yeah.
we know. But
Yeah.
I think we're turning the corner. Hopefully, I know several states have opened up and they're raring to go, and it doesn't seem like they're having a spike in cases. People are actually being somewhat careful, which I think makes a difference, and respectful.
Right.
And I think it'll be fine. No worries.
Well, we're opening our podcast back up.
Yeah,
So that's a
thankfully.
good thing. Yeah.
Phew.
Right?
Well, it's such a huge income stream for us, and I think
True.
all the listeners have been kind of chomping at the bit for us to get on a more regular schedule and get these
true.
out faster.
It's
But
true.
we can only do what we can do, folks.
Yeah. We're not Superman, but we're close.
Yeah.
Right? And we are social distancing, right? We're like,
We're at least 6 feet away.
hey, we're pretty close. Yeah. It's good enough.
There's a fan.
Yeah.
We're good, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
We're good. I
All right.
mask up. I'm good.
Me too. We're good.
And now the moment you've all been waiting for. Our different take.
All right. So this week, our topic is dreams, right? Types of dreams. What do some dreams mean? Maybe we'll hear like what some of our dreams and maybe what they think,
Right.
what we think they mean. Maybe.
Right. I have several dreams I'd like to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can they be talked about
Some of them.
in public?
Parts, pieces.
Does it involve a goat
Yeah.
or a sheep?
Yeah, well, Got to keep it spicy for the listeners.
Right.
I'll include as much as I can, folks. Stay
All right.
tuned.
Well, I can edit some stuff out too. So.
You're going to get your nickels worth.
Right. Well, I found some facts about dreams, like just overall generic basic facts. Every night, each of us creates about 5 dream episodes.
Is that like REM sleep cycles? Is that what they were talking about?
Well, dreams come in REM, right?
Right. I think that's when you're actively dreaming is when your eyes are moving.
So that would probably be that because they say, I think what they said, we average between 3 and 5 dream episodes a night.
Got it.
Which seems like a lot to me, but
Yeah, because my nights vary. In quarantine, I get plenty of sleep. Working, I get about 6 hours on a good night.
yeah.
So it just depends, I think I would that might be right though, because they say it takes a little time, and it's like a sine wave. You go in and out of REM sleep throughout the night. So I guess you could get 4 or 5 cycles on a regular night.
Could be. They say these dreams can last but anywhere between 15 and 40 minutes each.
Wow.
40 minutes? Could be.
Yeah.
And on average, we spend about 2 hours total dreaming each night.
Interesting.
Total. Yeah.
Do you remember your dreams? When you wake up, when you first wake up, do you remember them?
Usually some, and then they vanish just like lightning. They're
Quickly.
like gone. And I'm like, what the heck? Even when I try to remember, I'm really focusing and trying to remember because it was like a really good dream.
Yeah.
And it's just like someone turning out the light slowly on the dream and then
Fade out.
gone.
Yeah.
Do you?
I do remember often my dreams, and they do fade out over time, but it's a longer period of time. I have time to write them down.
Do you do that? Do
I
you write them
have-
down?
I have before. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
And I don't know, man. I think a lot of dreams are what scientists tell you they are. A lot of it, I think, is you just processing information for the day,
Right.
offloading things. There's maybe emotional things that are going on, and you're trying to process those and different things like that. But I think some dreams are different. I think some dreams stand out as being profound, or even prophetic in some cases, or really, really terrifying.
Right.
Yeah.
I dream more. So I'm a WoW player. I play WoW. So if there's some days where I play WoW excessively, like multiple hours, or a game or anything, I'll dream about that at night, and I'll be in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So sometimes it's not a good sleep because I'm in battle all night. I'm
Worst things
fighting all
in
night.
World War. You probably have PTSD from that.
I do. I wake up. I'm like, what the? Did I go up a level? What's going on here?
Poor thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've noticed that if I'm really
Nerd.
involved something during the day, I know I am a nerd.
Well, I've dreamt, especially in long work weeks where we're working overtime or there's something big going on. I have dreamt about work, which is really the worst thing you can dream about.
Yeah,
I
right.
hate that. And it has happened to me a few times. Most of my dreams are have to do with whatever emotions I'm feeling at the time. When I go to sleep, if I'm really stressed out, that kind of filters in, or if I'm angry, that filters in, or whatever. But
Right.
I should start writing them down.
Should.
Again. Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people have a recorder by the side of their bed and then they just talk into it right after the dream. So they're like, this dream was this, blah, 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 blah.
Like that Reddit thing I sent you with the recorder next to the bed.
Yeah, except for that.
That's
We'll
crazy.
talk about that later, but that's
Yeah.
crazy. No, that's horrible.
It's
horrible.
awesome. It's awesome.
It is. Do you have nightmares? Do you remember having a nightmare?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My nightmares for many years have been very animated and vivid. Julia, for a time when we first got married, probably up to about 5 years ago, I would wake up like in a fight or flight scenario. I'd be swinging, screaming. I'd back up and run into the wall. I'd trip over things. Like I would.
Holy moly. So you were up running, walking around?
I would wake up in the bed, and once I realized that I was in that position, I would like jump out of bed and like fall over, and I was screaming. I hit her one time, just in trying to
Right.
get away.
Yeah.
She would. After that happened, frequently when she would notice I was dreaming or having like a bad dream, she would wake me up out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and over time it got better, but I have had some really vivid dreams.
Wow. That's cool. Well, I mean, sort of cool. I mean, is that cool?
Terrifying. It's actually really
Terrifying.
scary when it happens. Yeah.
I've never had that.
And sometimes it's hard to sleep after that, not just that night, but subsequent nights. If they're really, really terrifying dreams, like it's really tough to.
What do you attribute the dreams to? Is it like the past or things involved with, or how do you get those?
I used to be a bouncer,
Yeah.
and I used to fight a lot, and I wonder if that had something to do with it, because back during that time, I would have those kind of dreams. But some of it was, back in the day when I was dating that one gal that was real, like a magnet for spiritual stuff, and like things would visit me in my dreams. Like things would come to me, terrifying things, scary things, bad things.
While she was, and then once she left the picture, did that
All
stop?
that stopped. Yeah,
Sheesh.
a lot of it stopped anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, weird.
That is
But
weird.
like I said, I think dreams, for the most part, are your body's way of offloading stress, dealing with scenarios,
Right.
working through things. But in some ways, I think dreams can be very profound and prophetic and scary.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of nightmares, there's 10 common nightmares that most people have. So
I'm anxious to hear this.
we'll
I wanna
go
know if
through
I'm
these
normal.
and see
Yeah.
if you're normal or if you're not.
Yeah.
Probably not, but we'll go
Whatever.
through these anyway.
It's an animal.
So the first one is, and these are nightmares, right? These are nightmares.
Right.
Teeth falling out.
I've had dreams about that, but I never considered them nightmares because they're not. It's weird to me, but it's not scary.
So you've had a dream where your teeth just fall out?
I've had a dream that my teeth were shattered and jagged, and I would rub my tongue over them, and I couldn't figure out why they were broken.
No way.
Yeah.
It's like a vampire.
Yeah.
I don't even remember dreaming about teeth ever.
Really?
No.
Maybe
Well,
you're the weird one, Brian.
maybe I am weird. What's wrong with me? They say teeth falling out. These dreams reflect your anxieties about your appearance. You could be suffering from self-confidence issues. Again, this is just certain websites saying this. It's
Right.
not.
I've
It's so
it
subjective.
Kind of varies.
Anyway,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe you just need dental work.
Oh, there's that.
That could be. Yeah. Second one, being chased. Ever had that?
Yep.
Being
I have
chased?
in slow motion.
Oh, slow
where-
motion.
Have you had that dream where you're trying to run away, but you can never go
Oh,
fast enough?
that's the worst dream ever.
I
You're
hate
like,
it.
yeah.
In fact, I had the dream that I had. I was 5 in Salt Lake City. We lived in Salt Lake City, and I was in a city landscape. There were buildings on either side, and I was trying to run, but everything was colored like autumn leaves. And there was this horrible beast behind me. He was trying to catch me, and I couldn't go fast enough. I remember it to this day because it was so terrifying. When I was a little kid, I suffered from a lot of I don't know what caused all my trauma. I had a lot of bad things happen to me, I guess, when I was little, but that was one that stuck with me to this day, like one of the scariest dreams I've ever had.
It's weird how I remember more dreams like that when I was little than remembering dreams nowadays.
Right. Yeah, I think our brains work better when we're little.
I think so.
Everything
You're
works
probably
better when
right.
you're little,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
You're just in way better shape. And
Yeah. Now I forget how to spell certain words that I should never forget how to
where
spell.
are my keys?
I'm
Yeah.
like, what the I can't spell.
I want to poop today. Yeah, I get it.
Right. You gotta practice for pooping. All right, anyway. So being chased, you are running away from something that's causing anxiety in your life. The chaser also represents an aspect of yourself, anger or fear, that becomes the figure chasing you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't, to this day, don't know what was chasing me, but I know it scared me so bad that, I mean, that was like the worst thing I ever experienced.
I remember this. I was laying in bed when I was little, and my back was turned, my face was turned towards the wall, and my back was facing the room.
Yeah.
And I could swear I could hear like something like running, like laps around the house coming through the room because we had hardwood floors. And I heard this, and it kept running. I said, there's no way I'm turning around. But I remember that.
Keep your eyes closed.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not looking. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Maybe that was my,
I wonder what it was.
I don't know.
There's so much I have to talk about that. Can I go into something?
Go.
Well, I was watching some stuff on YouTube today. As you know, I'm sort of a YouTube junkie. And I was researching dreams, and I was looking up different things. And I came across a thing about sleep paralysis. Have you ever experienced sleep paralysis?
I have not. I've heard of it, but I have not.
How come I've experienced all these things and you haven't?
Well, I'm glad you're on this podcast.
I guess when I was a kid, it used to happen to me. I can remember nights that I would sleep in my parents' room because I had a bad dream or something, and I would sack out on the floor in their room.
Yeah.
And I'd wake up. I knew I was awake, but I couldn't move anything. They say it's because part of your brain, you're paralyzed when you're sleeping, and part of your brain, especially when you're a kid, can wake up faster than another part or something. And so you're conscious, but you're not able to move anything. And the only way I could break out of it was to increase my breathing. I would start trying to hyperventilate, and then I'd get more oxygen in my brain was my, I guess, now that I think about it. But that eventually I'd be able to move and I'd wake up.
So your body wakes up before your brain?
Your brain wakes up before your
Your
body.
brain wakes up before your body. So your eyes are open, but your body's still asleep.
I don't recall if I could open my eyes or not. I don't recall if I ever did. But they say you can hallucinate in that state. And the guy on the YouTube video said they don't recommend you open your eyes because you can see really bad things that will scare you.
What? Seriously?
Yeah, see and hear bad things. And I never had that happen, but
Wow.
I did experience paralysis.
Wow. I don't remember that either.
Weird.
Maybe I was abducted by an alien and they wiped out my memory.
Maybe, I don't know.
Could be.
Entirely possible.
Probably. That's probably what happened.
You're probably nothing like your real self.
Right?
Right.
Yeah. Number 3, where you can't find a toilet.
Never.
I have not either.
No, I've never had that.
No. Well, guys, the world's our toilet.
Yeah.
Right.
I got
What does that
problem.
mean?
I'm not worried.
No.
It's all good. No, I've never had it.
No. If you do have it, like tonight, that means you're finding it difficult to express yourself in certain situations. You might need more privacy.
Does that sound like me?
Yeah. No.
I'm okay.
You're good. You're good. Naked in public.
Fantasies, not dreams.
It's totally different.
Totally different.
Totally different subject.
Me at the bus station. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, if you're walking around town and you're naked. I don't remember that either.
No, I don't either. I've
No.
never experienced that.
If you happen to have that dream tonight, that means you can't find yourself or you're being wrongly accused.
So strange. Where did they get that?
I don't know. If you see a naked person in your dreams that is not you, that means you're worried about exposing that person.
Oh,
So, yeah, if you got Joe Schmo that you're going to go tattle on, you're probably going to see him naked in your dreams,
snitches get stitches. I will never tattle then.
right?
Yeah, you can count on me not to say anything.
Yeah, naked in public, though.
Oh, weird.
Weird.
I've never experienced any of those dreams, ever.
No. What about unprepared for an exam?
I mean, I've experienced that.
Yeah, I've never dreamt about not being prepared for an exam. That doesn't
Yeah,
seem like a. Maybe it's a nightmare if you're going for your thesis
Yeah.
or something like that. Maybe, but
Yeah, I've never.
fifth grade. I mean, who cares,
Yeah.
right?
All 7 years of school I went to.
Right. Well, that means you lack confidence and inability to advance to the next stage in your life.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, unprepared for an exam.
I should be having that dream, but I haven't.
Well, maybe. Well, you're not lacking confidence to advancing to the next stage. That's what that means.
Okay.
You're confident in
Fine.
advancing.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, then.
Flying. You got a nightmare about flying?
No. I love flying. Flying's actually
I like flying
one
too.
of my favorite things.
Yeah.
And even private planes. I like little planes. I like big planes.
Yeah.
Jets. I like all of it.
Well, someone is stopping you from moving to the next stage in life.
Huh.
What are these next stages in life?
Yeah, what
is
they?
that?
What is it? Is that like a raise? Is that...
Is it like when you're turning from 20 to your 30s?
It might be
Is
bullshit.
that probably? It
might
could be.
It could
Yeah.
be.
We're not responsible for
Yeah.
any of these.
Not necessarily scientific.
Right. Falling. What about falling?
I've had those dreams.
Yeah, I've had those. I've had falling dreams.
And they say if you hit the ground, you die. I think that's crap. I remember being very surprised when I had a dream of falling and hit the ground, and I was just fine when I woke up. But I have had many falling dreams.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember being startled where I wake up,
Yeah.
where I'm like, ooh, but I don't remember ever hitting the ground, but I haven't been falling off like a huge cliff or anything like that either.
Right.
It's like a trip
Yeah.
off a curb.
yeah.
Is that on here?
Stare.
Tripping on curbs? No, that's not on here.
What does it mean?
That means if you fall and are overcome by fear while you're falling, it signifies anxiety and fear about a situation.
Interesting.
If you enjoy falling, then you are not afraid of changes.
Also interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of anxiety and fear involved with dreams, these people think,
I guess so.
apparently. Out of control vehicle.
I've never experienced that.
No, I haven't either. But the car represents our drive in life. Imagine that. And the direction we are taking.
I want to know who gets paid to make these up, because they're stupid.
Dr. Frank Fredrickson.
I disapprove of Dr. Fredrickson's interpretations.
He's from St. Petersburg's Community College in Bermuda.
Are you making that up?
Yes, I am.
Good. That's good.
That's what it sounds like.
Don't
doesn't
call
it?
the man out on the radio.
Yeah. If there really is someone out there, I apologize. There's
Just
no.
kidding.
Yeah, just kidding.
No, I disagree with a lot of that. I don't think anybody... I think it depends on what your life situation is at the time. And like I said, most dreams are just downloads, man.
A lot of these don't seem like... All right, get this one. This is number 9. This is a nightmare. Common nightmares. Finding an unused room.
That's a nightmare? That
a
would be
nightmare.
a blessing at my house. I'd be like, yes, Eureka.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. If you learn of a new room, it denotes abilities that you have found about yourself. If the room is white, it means you are ready to make a new change.
No, I disagree.
You disagree
Wholeheartedly.
on if the room is white?
It doesn't matter. Color doesn't matter. I don't know why that matters. Why would it matter?
Well, maybe.
What if the room was black?
Then
Or plaid?
plaid probably means that your clothing needs to be changed.
You're a lumberjack.
You're a lumberjack.
You didn't even
You're
know.
the guy on the brawny.
Yeah.
You like paper towels.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
The paper towel man.
Yeah, we need to write our own dream analysis
Yeah.
paper.
I think so.
We're going to do that.
I never found an empty room in my dream. I've been...
Who finds empty rooms in their dream?
I don't even
Who
know.
finds that?
It's so weird.
It is weird.
Sounds like a Nightmare on Elm Street.
It could
kind
be.
of thing.
Number 10, being late.
I don't remember if I've had a dream about that or not, to be honest.
Well, you are worried about taking a different direction in your life. You're trying to get things done, but are running out of time. Your unconscious might be telling you that it's never too late to get things done.
How many of these people are really disturbed? Because, like, these interpretations, whoever's doing this must just deal with people that just don't know what the hell they're doing in life and are scared of everything.
It's probably like, excuse me.
Like
you
clinical?
you go to a psychic, and a psychic more than likely is going to be like, well, you might have some anxiety in life, and this is going to change for you, and you know how it's kind of general most of the time? It's probably like this too, because they're all involving anxiety. This signifies anxiety, because what human does not have anxiety?
Right.
We all have anxiety.
It's a way of life.
Yeah, it's just normal. And what person does not want to improve themselves or our drive in life? Is it the right direction we're taking? Seriously? Right. That's all of us.
I question that every day.
Right? So honestly, I don't think a lot of these are nightmares myself. I think
not to me. To me, nightmares are terrifying, and like I wake up in a cold sweat screaming. Like, that's a nightmare for me.
Yeah.
Everything else is just perplexing or odd or
I agree.
Interesting.
I agree. There are, now this is according to dreaminterpretation.org. Okay. There are several different types of dreams. So we went through some common nightmares. And I'll just name these out real quick and then we can go through each one. So there's ordinary dreams, daydreams,
right,
nightmares, lucid dreams, reoccurring dreams, and prophetic dreams. Which some of that matches what you said in our intro.
Right.
Pretty close. So they say those are the main types of dreams that we have.
Right on.
Which I guess.
Go along with that. I think that sounds about right.
They say ordinary dreams. These dreams have two different types of meanings. You got general, in which the dream is told as a story, and individual, which is specific to the dreamer. So ordinary dreams mirror real life situations, but can include fantasies like what you were talking about.
What kind of fantasies?
It just says, quote unquote, fantasies.
Adult fantasy.
Yes. So, I mean, I can go along with that. That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Ordinary dreams. Nothing crazy about that.
But you told me you don't remember much of your dreams. How often do you recall dreaming?
I think I dream almost every night.
Really?
Yeah. I sleep pretty good.
Yeah.
And I've got pretty active imagination. So I think that goes into some of it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my dreams are not based on anything in real life.
Because you're a large child. Yes.
I am.
I agree.
That's for sure. So there's always some kind of fighting involved,
right.
Blowing something up.
Right.
The main dream that I remember is when I was a little kid. I used to have, when I grew up, I used to have a room in my parents' basement. And if you picture like a really old basement, it had like an old coal stove in it, like one of those huge freaking coal stoves. Mm-hmm. We had that in there. My room by itself had drywall and stuff like that, so it was like a little room. But you walk out into it, there's like concrete walls and stuff like that. You got the washer and dryer in one room,
like a penitentiary.
Yeah, you got like a 40-watt bulb in there where it's casting shadows everywhere.
It's the worst.
Yeah. So I remember we were being overrun with Indians in the basement.
That was your dream?
That was
American or continent of?
American.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Overran with Indians. I was fighting them left and right. It was a good battle too. But if you ever saw The Naked Gun, how they're fighting,
like right next to each other?
That's what we were doing. It was a fight in that whole basement, and I got shot in the back with an arrow.
Ouch.
And something in real life, when I wasn't dreaming, must have bit me or something in the back, because I woke up and I felt the pain in my back. I'm like, oh, I got shot. I got shot.
It got me.
My back was hurting and right where it shot me and everything.
Really?
Yeah. And I remember that dream, I'm not that old, so it's probably like a couple years ago.
Yeah, you are, actually.
But it's weird how out of all the dreams I probably had, I remember the pain from that one more than anything else.
Really? It's really weird.
Is that weird?
I mean,
It
it's
is weird.
different. It's definitely different.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't think I had like any. I can't remember battle dreams as a kid. I remember flying a lot. I remember like soaring.
In a plane or
not
by
in a plane,
yourself?
just by myself. I remember soaring through like canyons.
Like Peter Pan.
Kind of, yeah. I remember.
That's cool.
I remember having a dream one night, and I don't know if it was a dream or not, but I remember being in my room with my brother. We shared a room at the time, and my bed was on one side and his was on the other, and I was sleeping facing the wall. I haven't told very many people this. And so I wake up and I'm looking at the wall. I'm reluctant to tell you. It's kind of personal, but I'm looking at the wall and it looked like an angel with his back to me.
Oh, okay.
Only he was very dark in color. He wasn't like bright or white or anything. He was almost like a charcoal looking color.
Okay.
And he had his back to me. And I remember looking up at him, and then he noticed that I was awake, and he turned around and looked at me, and I looked at him, and I felt absolute peace, and I went back to sleep.
Huh.
Pretty
And
interesting.
do you think that was the dream, or did you actually wake up and see it and then went back to sleep?
I feel that I was awake for that. But, I mean, realistically, how could you be? But I do feel like I was.
You could be.
I feel like I was awake for that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was different. And I normally, as a child, I was terrified by a lot of different things. That would normally have scared me to, completely just ruin me. But
Right.
it was so peaceful, and it was so calming.
Wow.
And I just felt like everything was okay, and I went back to sleep.
Probably slept good.
I did sleep good, actually. Yeah.
How old were you?
Let me think about that time frame. I was probably maybe 8 or 9, or probably 8.
Okay. Yeah.
Because right after that, my brother was 4 years older, and he got his own room after that. He was about 12 when he got his own room. So, yeah, that's about the right time.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
That's cool.
different.
That is. What is that?
I don't know what the hell that was, but it was neat, and it was tangible. It was really like something you could sink your teeth into, that feeling.
And it's still in your memories to this day.
Yeah, very calming and amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
And I actually haven't told, I've told maybe 2 or 3 people about that.
That's really cool.
Now everyone knows.
Now everyone knows. That's
Yeah.
right. Send an email to show@ourdifferenttake.com.
Yeah. I'd be interested to hear if anybody else has experienced that.
Right.
I really would. I'd like to hear from people that have experienced that. Also, the tandem dreaming.
Oh, yeah. Go through that real quick.
So, when I want to say I was 18, might have been 17 or 18. I was in love with this girl, Julien, and I thought she was awesome, and we were very tight, very close. And our paths kind of took different directions. It's a really long story. It's an awful story. But at the time, we were at her parents' house in Colorado Springs here, and we had fallen asleep on the couch. And there was just a fire going. Pretty sure it was a fire, and I don't think the TV had been on. It was pretty late. It was wintertime. We fell asleep on the couch, and we were just kind of wrapped around each other. And it was probably 2 or 3 hours later. We both woke up at the same time, but it was like a gentle waking. It wasn't shocking or anything. We woke up, and I said to her, what piano store were we in? She goes, I don't know, but that guy really wanted to sell us this piano. We were talking about it, and we didn't realize that we had experienced the same dream for a couple of minutes. And then I was like, wow, we totally dreamed the same thing. We both dreamt that we were in a piano store off of Academy Boulevard over by Austin Bluffs.
Yeah.
And we were walking through the showroom, and this older, kind of overweight guy was showing us pianos to buy. and there was somebody playing music in one of the demonstration rooms off to the side. And we were literally just walking through, and it's weird because this is once again one of those dreams that's very gray and charcoaly. It seems like all of my, or most of my really strange dreams like that are either like really vivid or like really subdued. Anyway, we both shared the same dream, and I didn't even know, like I didn't even know it was really a thing until today. I started researching that when I was working on stuff for the cast tonight, and it is a phenomenon. It's rare, and some people share very similar dreams, but hardly ever the same dream. And we were both there together. I remember talking with her, seeing her face. We were holding hands, walking through this store. It was really a trip, and I've never experienced that since then.
So on your research, does that happen when people are, because you were both together on the couch, right? Mm-hmm. Does it happen when like you're in a room and someone else is in a different room?
Apparently much easier when you're in the same dream space, in proximity to each other, close proximity. However, I do know that I have dreamt of someone and talked to them the next day, and they dreamt of me as well. Although I never, got down what the circumstances were. Or if it
right.
was, but I have had that happen.
Wow.
Many times.
You need to write like a book on dreams that you've had.
I should jot them all down, huh?
You need to jot them down. Seriously.
So. Some are super terrifying, like really traumatically scary.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe you don't want to joint. Maybe you don't want to
Not
joint
right
those
now,
down.
Thank you. I'm good.
Just
Coffee's
checking.
fine. Coffee's fine.
Just checking to see.
Loosen things up.
Dream space. So is that measured in feet?
Just heard about it today. So dream space is the proximity you are to somebody else while you're trying to share a dream. And apparently people try to do this. They try to make it happen. There's actually one, let me see, I have it in my notes here. There's a Lucid Dreaming Tree is the name of the vlog on YouTube. And she does dreaming retreats. She just got done doing one over in Europe. And they'll take a house and they'll seclude everybody. They'll drink herbal tea to relax them. Nothing like, no crazy drugs or anything. But they do some relaxation exercises. They teach people how to get into sort of a lucid dreaming state. They go to bed, and then when they wake up the next morning, they write down their dreams in a journal, and then they all sit around in a circle and read it to each other. And she said it has happened before where people have had identical dreams, but I didn't hear from her that people had experienced the same dream together. They had identical dreams, or they were in the same area of a dream together. But I feel that dream that I shared with Julin was it was as real as me and you. Like,
yeah, right.
And we both experienced it at the same time. So there's got to be something there that science doesn't get yet. Of course, there's always more, right?
Right.
But I think there is something to it, and I think if you're in the right frequency or whatever, you can link up. And
that's cool, though.
And the walls come down, and you can dream. And at that time in my life, I was probably more spiritual than I am now, and maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know, but it was incredible.
So lucid. We have lucid dreaming on our list here, but let's skip ahead to that a little bit because that's kind of interesting to me.
The lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how long does it take for her to teach someone? I mean, how do you learn how to lucid dream? Because I think that would be pretty cool if you could just
pretty amazing
do it.
Some people have a lot easier time of it than others. And in her workshops, apparently, she gives you tools and techniques and things to try. But I think it's a process like anything else. Just like remote viewing or anything else, I think it's something you have to discipline your mind to, get used to,
right?
Learn yourself, and then kind of fine-tune it as you go.
Well, I saw these patches for sale. It's like a blindfold, picture of blindfold, and then it had some lights on it. like LED lights around it.
Yeah.
You're supposed to wear those going to sleep, and then that will help you have a lucid dream.
Safe. Shooter in the building.
So, again, it was an ad, so it probably doesn't work. But.
I've heard that it helps with jet lag. I've seen the masks you can wear with the lights, and they're supposed to help with jet lag, and they're highly rated. They're expensive.
Really?
Yeah, but if you've ever had jet lag and if you travel a lot, man, that'd be worth its weight in gold. I'd pony up for that because, man, jet lag is the worst.
I've never had jet lag.
It's so bad. When I went to Europe, going wasn't bad. The trip to Europe was it was a shit show, the first part. I told you about the lady that committed suicide in front of our bullet train, right?
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That happened. It's a whole different story.
That's great.
Oh, my God. It was amazing. It was like terrible, but I mean, who can say they've experienced that? It was nuts. We're doing 180 miles an hour through the French countryside. We're right behind the engine, like third car.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, it's like we hit a Mack truck. And I can feel first torso and bottom half roll under the train. I didn't know it at the time that's what it was, but that's what it was. And then the top half go under the train. Took us about 3 miles to stop. The engineer comes just shooting back through, and I looked at my brothers and I said, that guy looks like he just shit his pants. Like, we hit something, you know?
Yeah.
And lo and behold, we did. A lady committed suicide in front of the train.
Jeez.
It happens apparently frequently. That's a whole different topic. But anyway, yeah, jet lag. Had a lot of jet lag coming back from Europe.
Well, how would they stop someone from jumping in front of the train anyway?
Well, they tried to. Like, it's fenced on both sides.
Yeah.
But, you could climb over. And if you're determined, you can kill yourself. And it was sort of goodbye, le cruel world. And
I guess so.
Off she went. I feel bad for her. The whole front of the train was pretty smashed up. And we were supposed to go Paris to Amsterdam. We rented a houseboat in Amsterdam. We were going to stay 3 days there and then go on our bike ride.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to do that whole first day. We were supposed to get there pretty early, get our bikes, go all around. And we didn't get there till like 3 a.m. because we got stuck on a train platform out in the middle of nowhere till 11 o'clock at night. Like nothing. It was just crickets,
Oh, no.
And then this other train, they went back and got a train. Bless their hearts. They went back to the station at like 10 miles an hour because the hydraulics were jacked up. Because that lady going under the train ripped out a bunch of hydraulic lines and stuff. Then they got another train, loaded it with box lunches for us because we were all starving to death because there was no food or water. Came back for us, loaded us on the train, took us up to the northern part of France where we caught another train, and then into the train station up there in Amsterdam. It was a crazy ride. Like I don't know anybody else that's had an experience like that. It was.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Would that ticket cost an arm and a leg?
Boom! We gotta have that. Do you have it?
Well,
so terrible.
that's all I got.
It's too soon, Brian.
It's too soon. Sorry about that.
Anyway, it's tragic, but it's a hell of a story, isn't it?
Serious.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Wonder if the lady was large. I mean,
I don't know, man. And they covered like when we pulled into the train station for everybody to disembark, and they had to inspect the train. When we sat on the tracks for 3 hours before that, like we're just waiting for the cops. They're like, hey, it's going to be a few hours. Cops will show. And lucky for us, right behind our car was the dining car. You get snacks and sandwiches and stuff. And we just played cards and hung out. The train company actually refunded our fare.
wow,
Which was very kind of them, I thought,
that's cool.
for the inconvenience. And
That's a killer deal.
I was. Do it again. It's perfect. We laugh at ourselves. Nobody else is laughing
Hey,
at us.
as long as we're entertaining ourselves.
That's right. Yeah, it was nuts. When we disembarked off the train, there were policemen there, and they wouldn't let anybody go up near the front of the train. I actually saw part of it, and it was pretty gory. So what happened was when the train hit the young lady, it separated her body at the waist. The shock wave actually did that. The lower half of her body kind of rolled up a little bit and then went under the train. The top half of her body went up to the electrical wires above the train and just kept bouncing off the canopy there in the front.
Holy
like
moly,
5 or
that
6
would
times until it finally got sucked under. So I think the engineer was pretty damn well traumatized. by
Yeah,
that,
seriously. Who wouldn't be?
right?
I mean, that's
I
horrible.
felt for him, but he went back. They all came back with that other train. They stayed up, I'm sure, all night trying to help us out and get us there. It was really a top-notch group of people, and they were quite kind. I really appreciate them. Anyway, it was a great trip though, and
Yeah.
a little jet lag though on the way back.
So what does jet lag feel like?
It's awful because you're just so tired. You can't get enough rest because your clock's off, and when you come back, you're up in the middle of the night. It's the daytime, and it just really messes you up. Even if you sleep on the plane, nothing fixes it. It's really weird.
It is weird.
It's a real phenomenon though, and I'd never experienced it before, but it's pretty bad.
You always hear about it, but
Yeah,
you know,
going wasn't bad. Coming back was pretty bad.
it's tough to get jet lag when all I do is drive 30 miles south.
You have car lag.
I have car lag. Yeah.
Get me the hell out of this
I have car lag. Butt lag. No, that's something completely different. I don't have that, by the way.
That's a personal problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have butt lag, so we can keep going.
I don't want to know.
I don't either. That's a whole different story
Moving on.
right there. So we talked about daydreams. We talked about nightmares. We talked about lucid dreaming,
Right.
which I'm still interested in. I would like to try to do that.
I really think lucid dreaming and also being able to remote view
Yeah.
is really cool. And I've tried and tried.
You tried remote viewing?
Oh, for years. I mean, remote viewing's been a thing for a long time. And I remember the
Right.
first time I heard about it on Art Bell's show. I think they call it After Dark now, but it was before it was Art Bell.
I loved Art Bell.
I loved Art Bell.
Yeah.
What a class act. He
Yeah.
was. Really cool guy.
Yeah.
The thing I noticed about Art Bell was he never told anybody they were crazy. Like, he would just always listen to what they had to say and like, wow, that's really cool, you know.
Right.
Just let them talk.
Yeah.
And through that, like, it became very interesting. Truck drivers, these crazy people, you know, but some of those people see legit things and want to talk about it. And
Yeah.
he was kind of their voice. I think he was just great.
Yeah,
I wish I had
I-
a T-shirt or something.
Right? I know.
Anyway, the lucid dreaming is really cool. And the remote viewing, when I heard about it on the Art Bell show, this was way back, like, right, I mean, it had to be 15 years ago, 18 years ago. And I tried and tried. I mean, I really did try.
Did you get a book or how did you try?
I just read up on the internet and tried to like relax as much as I could. Tried to like leave my body. Tried and tried. Couldn't do it. And I don't know how to get to that state. If anybody out there knows, please contact us. We'll definitely go down the rabbit hole there with you and see what we can do. But I don't know how to make it happen. I know people can, and I assume certain people are much better at it than others. But I would love to give that a shot.
It's probably the same thing like the other stuff you were saying is you really got to practice.
I think so.
Because I've tried to meditate before and my mind is just racing everywhere. The more I try to meditate, the more I start thinking about like everything on earth.
That's not bad, actually.
Oh, it's not?
and-
I thought you were trying to like,
Well, you do, but it's weird because anytime I've meditated, and I have successfully meditated many times and unsuccessfully meditated many times, but you know, they always, at least the way I do it, is I always try and clear my mind. I always work on my breathing, and I always want to make sure my postures are very straight. And I always sit Indian style, and I always have my hands in the same place, and I think about white paper.
white paper.
White paper, and the minute you do, things will start flooding in, and you go back to white paper, and they'll start flooding in again, and you go back to white paper, and you keep doing it, and eventually it gets less and less and less. And I don't know if you ever get to exactly just white paper, but I've spent an hour and a half meditating and not known I had gone more than 15 minutes. So it must work.
It must work.
Because I've lost large chunks of time meditating on that white paper, and it is amazing for your heart rate. It's really good for your mind, and it feels like you slept hours. It's really good.
I worked at the hospital for a while, and I taught biofeedback, where we hooked these patients up to a machine, and the room was really dark, like except for a couple candles or whatever, right? And they're laying back, and then you hook up a machine up to them where there's a cable going around their upper chest and a cable going around their lower chest, and it records where they're breathing from. Are they breathing from their diaphragm, or are they breathing from their lungs? And so you would teach them to breathe all from their lungs and keep their stomach like even. That would teach them how to breathe because you get more oxygen that way. And then so we would go through like a relaxation technique where we would start at the bottom of their feet, and we would talk and be like, feel your toes really relax, and we would do it in a calming voice.
You're kind of aware of that part of your body.
Yeah, and now your toes are really relaxed.
I think it works
move up
really
to your
well.
knees.
Yeah,
I think it does.
there's science behind it.
Yeah.
What's the therapy where you move your eyes at a certain speed or to a metronome, and it's a regression therapy. Julia tried that out one time and had great success with some stuff, and I'm not sure what it's called. We have to dig into that because it's really interesting. They use it for PTSD and people that have been through traumatic experiences, and the movement of your eyes while you're trying to recall the trauma or the memory, vividly brings it back. Weird.
I can believe that, because like when you're in deep thought about something, do you always look up left or right, or where do your eyes go?
Constantly moving my eyes, like when I'm thinking about stuff, trying to recall things. That's true.
Yeah, I think I'm always looking up though. I don't think I ever look.
I don't ever look down.
Down.
I always look up to my noggin.
Yeah,
my brain house. Yes.
Right. Yeah, I do the same thing. I think I look up into I start up into my left.
Up and right.
But you're right.
I'm up.
You're up to your right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm up and right.
Interesting.
It's because I'm more honest than you are, Brian.
Yeah. Who knows what's going on in my noggin? I'll tell you what.
We're learning a lot.
We are. It's kind of therapy right here is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, we've got also reoccurring dreams. So the definition of a reoccurring dream is a dream which is experienced repeatedly over a long period. Up to 70% of females and 65% of males experience recurrent dreams.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like the same dream over and over.
That's weird.
Yeah. Have you experienced that?
I've been visited in my dreams over and over, like,
By the same person?
or entity.
The same entity?
Yeah.
Well, that would be a
But I don't know if it's a dream.
reoccurring,
I don't know.
reoccurring something.
Yeah. It's different for sure.
Hmm.
But I do know that I wake up uncomfortable. Not terrified or anything, but I have been visited many times by the same whatever.
Does that thing talk to you in your dream?
No.
He just looks at you?
I don't ever see them. I feel them. Like I feel like electricity. And I feel that he wants to like possess my body.
Really?
Yeah. Or it. But I won't allow that to happen.
That's probably good.
And that's usually what wakes me up. Weird.
I wonder if that's classified as a dream.
I don't know. Or a nightmare, maybe.
More of a I would say more of a nightmare
Or
than
maybe,
just a...
maybe a demonic attack. Who knows? I think it depends on who you tell. If you tell it to a preacher, he's going to say it's a demonic attack. If you tell it to a psychologist, they're going to say it's a nightmare. And if you tell it to the average person on the street, they'll probably think it's a ghost. I think it just depends.
The only way it's a nightmare is if that entity cannot find a bathroom,
Right?
according to our list here.
Or his teeth fall out.
Or his teeth fall out. Then it's a nightmare.
That's right, you bastard.
Otherwise, no.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not. Then you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
Or maybe he's late, too. That would be a nightmare. That'd be bad. But, yeah, it's recurring dream. And the other one is prophetic dreams.
Right.
There's a study that showed that 42% of people felt they had had a dream about something that later came true.
I've had deja vus.
Yeah, I've had deja vus.
Where I felt like I've been through it before.
Yeah.
But I can't remember. I can't remember if I have or not. I've had dreams that I felt were prophetic that haven't come to fruition yet. I had a terrifying dream from a demon one time that I felt was very...
Prophetic?
Yeah, it stuck with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you got to write all this stuff down. This is crazy. Seriously.
I feel like I feel like everybody's gonna think I'm insane.
No, I think it's
That's a
like
trip.
very cool.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. That's why we're talking about all this, because
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I think I've told you about it before. When I lived with Adina years ago, and I had a dream that of a demon's face, and it started out as like this little dot, and it started spinning really fast. It was so sparkly and bright, and it just started spinning really fast, and it got bigger and bigger, and then it made a picture almost like it was going like a laser show kind of,
Oh yeah.
and it made a picture of a skull and then muscle and then flesh, but not completely, and the eyes, and it was sideways, and it turned to face me, and then this ungodly scream, like the scream that echoes in my mind to this day, and then it looked at me and said, "Now you know that I am real." And I woke up and
What the heck?
crawled the fucking walls, man. It freaked me out still freaks me out to this day. I get goosebumps. Scariest dream, scary.
You've had that dream multiple times?
One time.
That was a one-time thing?
That was enough.
How old were you?
27.
Jeez. Yeah, that's crazy.
That was crazy, dude.
That is creepy.
I don't understand why I'm such a magnet for that stuff. But maybe because I'm curious about all those kinds of things. I don't know.
Could be. I've always been curious too, but
But in a
maybe I'm
sexual
just
way.
boring. Yeah, that's the butt problem of
Just
the
kidding.
end or something coming in there.
Always been kind of curious.
What was that? Oh,
Sorry,
we'll have
that
to
was
go into that podcast later.
I apologize.
Yeah, dirty master.
Hear about that later. Sorry.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I was
Never.
in college. I was experimenting.
It was a rough time of my life.
Yeah.
Prophetic, though. I was trying to think if I ever had a prophetic dream, but
I don't think so. And I think, if in the Bible, like it says that God spoke to people through dreams and whatever.
Right.
I'm not that important. So maybe I'll never have one. But I wonder if world leaders have prophetic dreams. That'd be interesting to find out. Because, and maybe they won't even talk about it for fear of being called crazy. But I do wonder if world leaders and people that influence where our sphere goes have prophetic dreams or have had prophetic dreams. I've never had one.
I don't know. I think that might go back to, are they in tune with certain entities?
I don't know.
Because, if someone's involved in the dark arts or whatever, that maybe they're more inclined to have certain dreams.
Like Lord Voldemort.
Yes.
Yes.
Lord Vader.
Lord Vader.
Versus just the regular Joe Schmo governor.
Normal Teletubby dreams.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
We need to start writing down our dreams, though.
Our governor
I need
might
to, for
have
sure.
Teletubby dreams. I don't
He
know.
probably does, I'm sure.
You never know.
Teletubbies. That was weird. Teletubbies.
Kids loved it though, man. It's
How did
money.
they like that? I don't understand that.
Bank,
I
I
know.
don't either. I don't know.
That or Barney.
Yeah, Barney.
Barney and Teletubbies?
I mean,
What
kids love Barney, dude.
I know.
You can't argue with that. I mean, they all loved Barney.
They did love Barney.
Huge money. What a moneymaker that was.
My boys didn't watch Barney.
My boys did like, my boys liked Barney. Bob the Builder was cool.
Bob the Builder.
Um,
Elmo.
Elmo.
My son loved
Huge.
Elmo.
Yep.
Yeah.
And trying to think what else. But I don't know that I've ever had a prophetic dream. I don't know anybody that has had a prophetic dream. Although now prophetic in a way like my brother's girlfriend, Carolyn, her dad passed away in the Sioux City, Iowa plane crash years ago. It was a United, maybe it was a DC-10. I think it was a DC-10 that crashed in Sioux City, Iowa. And he had dreams that he was going to die. He was a traveling salesman. And coincidentally, months before the crash, told his wife about it and bought a $1 million life insurance policy. Then bought extra insurance, and I guess at the time you could buy insurance on plane tickets, like travel insurance and stuff. Maxed it all out, and ended up dying on the Sioux City, Iowa plane crash, and I think their family got $5 or $10 million from that because he had dreams about dying and felt like he needed to take care of the fam. So I guess that would be considered prophetic.
I would say so.
And now they own a bunch of Napa stores on the Western Slope. Good for them.
Right? Good for them.
If you got to go and you actually have a real strong... Now, I've had strong feelings about bad things that were going to happen that happened, but I can't say I've ever had a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, they say 42% of the people think they have had a prophetic dream.
Crazy.
I guess there's different levels of prophetic dreams, though, right? Because I'm sure we've had a dream like, hey, I'm going skiing,
Right.
versus
The world's
dying in a plane crash or something like that.
Right.
I mean, we've probably all had some level of prophetic dream, whether if it's on a low scale.
Right. And I don't know if he actually had a dream that it was going to be a plane crash, but he did feel strongly that he was going to die in his travels.
Wow.
Yeah, and what a freak accident that was. It was just really out there, that DC-10. And the pilot actually made it to the airfield. In fact, they use that scenario in the simulators, at least they did, for many years. And I don't think one pilot ever made it to the landing, to the runway, like that pilot did. He had to steer with the throttles. He had no lateral control at all. He had throttle control on the left and right engines, and all the hydraulics were cut.
Oh,
So he could
geez.
just kind of steer it like this, and then
Right.
up and down the throttle for altitude. And he actually made it to the runway and several people survived that crash. One little kid
Oh.
survived. They pushed him out the door when they hit the ground.
Wow.
And he rolled on the tarmac and actually lived through it, from what I understand.
Wow.
He was a wee. But most everybody died. Yeah,
That's too bad.
unfortunate.
That'd be horrible to know you're going down in an airplane and you're probably going to die.
Yeah, man.
I can't even imagine that.
I can.
I could probably imagine it, but I
Terrible.
wouldn't want to.
Wouldn't want to go through it.
No way.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Any other research you had on your notes?
Oh, my gosh. Let's see what I got here.
Let's see what you got.
Dream anxiety. It's a real thing. Apparently, the International Classification of Sleep Disorders, which is a real book, lists over 80 different sleep disorders. And one of them is dream anxiety, where people fear having bad dreams so bad they can't sleep. They suffer from major sleep deprivation.
I could believe
because
that.
they just won't go to sleep. They're terrified of it.
Yeah.
Like Nightmare on Elm Street, much like that young lady who didn't want to go to sleep because Freddy's going to kill you.
Justified.
Yeah, justified.
Justified
Terrifying.
completely.
When I was a kid, so scary. Watched it again not too long ago. Not very scary. Yeah.
I figured a lot of those old books and that I used to read and a lot of the movies I'd watch,
Yeah.
I figured probably just leave them in my memory that way I remember them
Terrifying.
like they're supposed to be.
So awesome.
Yeah, no, like, what is that rubber mask?
Yeah, I know. And he was so cutting edge, though, at the time. Though. Nightmare on Elm
Right.
Street was like the greatest horror movie ever made.
Yeah.
And same with, what's the one with Pinhead?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were all just, so good. And I watched that one a while back, too, and I was like,
You're cracking up.
At least there's some boobs in it. It's all good, Anyway, dreams of loved ones and friends that have spoken to you. A lot of people say they have dreams after people pass of their loved ones talking to them. And I told you about when my grandma died. I was very little, though.
Yeah.
And it didn't even occur to me. I didn't really even know what death was. But I remember sleeping in my grandma's house the night she died, that night, after she had died the previous night. And I remember seeing her sitting on the piano bench and smiling at me and my brother when I woke up.
Wow.
But again, science would tell you that's your brain.
Right.
But I don't think science knows everything.
I don't think so
I
either.
think they know a lot of things, but not everything to do
Right.
with that stuff.
Right.
And then the shared dream space. I just think that's really interesting that other people have shared dreams in close proximity to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a really rare phenomenon. I feel very privileged to have experienced that.
You're like the dream master. You know that?
Not me, no. No, I'm just a sick case, my friend.
I'm like a dream freshman still. I have anxiety about progressing to my sophomore dream state.
You should really work on trying to write down your dreams. You should work on that and report back, because I'd really like to know if you make progress at it. Dreams are cool, man.
I think I'm going to try to record them on my phone.
Yeah?
If I wake up.
Just like talk into it?
Yeah, just talk into it and blurb into it, and then I can like go type it out or whatever if I have to or something.
Dreams are so hard to get down because there's so much emotion involved.
There are.
It's really hard to... somebody should come up with an emotional scale for dreaming. Colors to match the emotional feeling that's in the dream, because it's so hard to get it across.
Right.
What you're feeling during the dream, because you could say, oh, I was walking down the street and there was this ladder and whatever, but the feeling of the dream is what's really
right,
like the tangible part of it. It's really weird.
They're deep. The feelings are deep. I mean, there's stuff I probably feel the feelings I had about those dreams more than the tangible dream itself.
It's probably the only time you actually feel.
It could be, because I am a cold-hearted
Corporate raider.
That's
what you are.
Goofball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we did get a voicemail in from one of our listeners.
Well, do tell, sir. I'd like to hear that voicemail.
Well, let's play the voicemail for you.
Who's it from?
I can't remember this guy's name. He says he's a preacher.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So it's concerning our last podcast.
Play it up.
Yeah, he's got some concerns. So we'll play this real quick. Here we go.
Hey, Matt and Brian. My name is Harlan Tide from the Sun Up Buddy Bible Camp and Studies. First-time caller, long-time listener. I was listening way back in the 80s when y'all had that AM call-in show out of Omaha. Any doodles. I just finished listening to episode 7, The Ghost of Fireball Mike. Now, I enjoyed a lot of it, but then y'all started talking about the man downstairs, Beelzebub. There's an old saying in the Bible. If you invite the devil over for dinner, he's going to have seconds. If you let the devil in, sure, he says, crash on your couch for just a night, 2 days top. But before you can blink a Christian eye, the devil claims squatters' rights. Your safety deposit, that's gone. Kiss it goodbye. You think he'll clean up after himself? He'll be doing the devil dishes till Jesus wakes up. You think the devil practices social distancing? No, sir. He gets up real close, whisper in your ear, hug you from behind like Joe Biden embracing a science fair winner. There are no boundaries. You understand me? Keep up the great work, boys. Just remember, unless you got a great gag reflex, keep the devil out your mouth, because he's going deep.
Okay. We appreciate that, Pastor.
Reverend. Pastor, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy man.
Holy man.
Yeah.
Holy man.
That's good feedback, though, and sound advice. I can tell you from experience, he'll go deep. Very tragic.
You will.
Yeah.
We got to be careful. Mm-hmm. So we'll heed his words of warning.
Yep.
And not
about Beelzebub.
Yes, or Biden.
Or Biden. Yeah. No science fair.
Was that more for Biden or was that Beelzebub?
It was Biden.
Yeah.
Well, like Biden.
Like Biden.
I don't know.
Well, we appreciate all of our fans out there, whether you're a pastor, whether you're not.
Yep.
Whether you dream, whether you don't.
True that.
Send us some info. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I agree. It would be very helpful if we could hear from everybody.
Yes. The more we get, the better. We appreciate it. All right. That's about all we got, Senor.
Yeah. What's coming up? What kind of awesome craziness do we have in our future? I think there's a list somewhere.
Yeah, we do have a list of some topics that we want to talk about.
Spirit boxes.
Ooh, for sure.
Coming up in the future. And actually, maybe we can post this on our website and people can vote and let us know what they want us to talk about. But
good idea.
Do you want me to read all the topics or do you want me to just hit on the...
I'd pick like the top 5, you think?
Top 5. Spirit boxes. Skinwalker Ranch, I really want to touch on some more of that stuff. Dark web stuff.
Some of that stuff is creepy, too.
Really scary stuff. Also DMT and psychedelic experiences. That's kind of high on the list. I know somebody that has actually experienced the ayahuasca, and that sort of a experience, and I'd like to have him on the show and bring him on for some interesting questions.
That would be cool. We got to set that up for
Really
sure.
neat stuff there. We could talk about that for days.
Oh man.
Or
Okay.
maybe even 200 years.
Oh, 200 years, billion years.
Yeah.
Bigfoot. I know we got a guess for Bigfoot too.
Oh yeah, that's good
Bigfoot.
stuff. And Bigfoot ties into the whole Ute Indian tribe and Skinwalker Ranch and Indian medicine and all those things too. There's so much there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. So we've got dark web, spirit boxes, DMT, Bigfoot, and more Skinwalker Ranch.
Yep.
Okay.
I think that's in our future. And anything else that we find just irresistibly fun.
There's so much.
There's
so much. This is just the beginning, folks.
Yeah. And it gets better from here. So, without further ado, thanks for listening this week. Thanks to all our listeners. You guys rock. We appreciate, really, genuinely appreciate you listening. And we'd really like to get your feedback, positive, negative, and otherwise. Ideas for new shows, as well as what you liked and what you didn't. Please send your comments, suggestions, complaints, or questions for next week's Ask Matt segment, which we didn't do this week, but we will next week.
Sure. We always have that as an option. It's always Ask Matt.
Show at ourdifferenttake.com. We'd like to thank our listeners in the United Kingdom, also in Spain, and all over the globe. We are now streaming on multiple platforms. Just starting this week, we have a new voicemail line. You can call to submit questions or really anything you want. You can leave us any kind of a message. 970-343-4594. Don't forget to rate us 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. It really does count for us. It means a lot. If you could please take the time to rate us 5 stars, that would be huge. Subscribe to the podcast. You can hear us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, radio.com mobile app, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and Pandora.
Pretty much everywhere.
Up next on the stage, Pandora. See if you can open that box, folks.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
No, that's okay.
All right. All right. Peace.
Later.